Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
The worst 4 years of Leslie Glass's life started with an argument, just the latest in a series of bitter rows with her daughter Lindsay. But on this particular day Lindsay, then 35, snapped, packed a suitcase, and disappeared. From that moment, she cut off all contact with her mother. "I didn't know where she was, if she was all right, if she could earn a living," says best-selling author Leslie. "There were so many emotions, shock, sadness, anger that she could treat me like this. We'd got stuck in such a rut of shouting at each other, but I loved her. I really believed I'd lost my daughter forever. In many ways it was like a bereavement. I'd lost my mother at 27, and then at 69, my daughter was gone. I really did feel that there was nothing left for me, that my life was over." Despite the devastation caused, cutting off a parent has become more common than you'd think. 1 in 5 families in the UK are affected by estrangement, a figure that's thought to be on the rise. Reasons for breaking off contact are as varied as families themselves. But psychologists say polarized politics and a growing awareness of how difficult relationships can impact our mental health are fueling the silent epidemic of parental estrangement. Family discord is as old as the hills, but these days it's more acceptable to turn your back on relatives as a result. On social media, thousands have joined support groups for adult children who've chosen to reject their parents. As with Leslie and Lindsay, most of these breakups are initiated by the child. Of course, there may be serious reasons for this, such as abuse, emotional, verbal, or physical, but taking sides during a divorce is another factor, as well as clashes in values. In fact, recent American research shows value-based disagreements were mentioned by more than 1 in 3 mothers of estranged children, with arguments revolving around sexual preference, politics, or the importance of mental health. It can be tempting to see a clean break as a solution to your problems. But Leslie disagrees that this will make you happy. "We all want the love and acceptance of our mother. We long for it. If you give up your parent or child, they leave a huge hole. Personal happiness is important, but family duty is important, too. These days, my personal happiness is about being able to accept my daughter even if she's difficult, and vice versa." For unlike many of those affected, Lindsay and Leslie have overcome their division, and today are closer than ever, even working together to help other women suffering family estrangement. Their bond is evident in their shared laughter and gentle teasing of one another during our interview, but it is hard-won. Except in cases of true abuse, they believe anyone can reconcile in the right circumstances. They've teamed up to write their new book, The Mother-Daughter Relationship Makeover, to help other mothers and daughters find their way back to each other. "We are sharing our private and painful journey because I believe moms and daughters need a voice for hope," says Lindsay. "A voice that says, it's okay to be in a bad place and not get along. It's okay if you're on opposite ends of the spectrum about style, politics, pets, finances, children. Sometimes losing your way with your mom or child is no one's fault. What matters is finding your way back if you can." Their split came in 2014, during what appeared to be a time of stability. Although she'd had a privileged childhood, her father was a banker and her mother a successful author, Lindsay had found herself embroiled in drugs during her teens, following several bereavements. Having attained a good degree and a writing career of her own, she went on to take a 12-step program to shake off drugs and alcohol altogether. Ironically, mother and daughter were working together on a documentary about recovery when things went awry. Leslie and her husband had divorced, and Lindsay was staying in her mother's flat to facilitate their working arrangements. "I might have been sober, but we had this lifetime habit of yelling, pointing fingers and poor communication," admits Lindsay. "I blamed her for every unwise decision I had made in my life. The short-lived marriage I wasn't ready for in my 20s, career issues, emotional problems. But by the time I reached my 30s, I was smoke coming out of my ears and raged." Leslie explains, "We'd be